Hi everyone, delonewolf here. Welcome back to another EVE Online video. Welcome back also to Jita, the largest trade hub in EVE Online. And well, we're going to take a little bit of a look at the market, but the main focus for this video is going to be the major event that happened in EVE Online at the moment, which is of course the war between the Imperium and then a large alliance of multiple alliances that attacked them with the intent of completely kicking the Imperium out of nullsec, and that war is basically coming to an end with the attackers giving up on that objective, and well, we'll see where that takes us. So before I get started, I will fully acknowledge, if in case anyone wants to comment, that that's for instance in the war on either side there. This is going to be the perspective from a Care Bear on the sidelines, and there's definitely stuff that I don't know about, and very important things as well where I can't really gauge the impact. For instance, I can imagine that being a defender and then fights hitting against the limits of the servers greatly advantages the defenders rather than the attackers who have to jump into the server mess. And so there's a lot of things at play that will have a lot of impact on how the war went and this decision by the attackers to stop their attack. Yeah, I can only give you guys my perspective and my opinion, so don't take this as like this is exactly what happened, and I'm definitely not trying to like throw shade or anything like that. I'm looking at it from my own perspective, what it means for EVE Online, and for me personally, potentially what it could open up as opportunities. Because well, first of all, I definitely want to say this. For me personally, this is like the best possible outcome that we could get for this war, because we now have parties that remain alive and that absolutely hate each other, which is great for conflict, way better than if the Imperium would have been completely exterminated, and then we would have gotten another step closer to the blue donut in 0-0. So from my perspective, this is the best possible outcome. We now have two sides that will be licking their wounds, but that will absolutely be looking at continuing conflict in the future, and I see very little chance of them deciding on forming a blue donut or something like that. I also have to say that we have been here before. I remember, don't ask me exactly how long this was ago, a very long time ago, when there was also a lot of speculations and fear on a blue donut forming in EVE Online, and then it was the exact opposite. The fear was that the goon swarm at the time would completely dominate the entirety of nullsec, and that never came to pass either. So I like this. I think that conflict is vital in EVE Online, and seeing these grudges grow now in EVE Online, as long as they keep it all in game, I absolutely think that that's beautiful to see. And yeah, maybe we will of course see a little bit of talk about players that take it too seriously and that do take it out of game and things like that. I fully understand that, and so I also quickly want to mention, yeah, this is EVE Online. This is a game. Keep it all in game, and then we'll be fine. While I personally have never been a big fan of Goon Swarm or the Imperium, just because their in-game character is counter to mine. I'm more of, trying to be honorable, trying to be everyone's friend, and they're definitely antagonistic, right? They don't mind scamming players and all of that good stuff. They're the organizers of Hulkageddon, the Burn Jita, right? The disruptive force in EVE Online is the Imperium, but for me as well, I would say that given what I've seen here from this war, I have absolutely tremendous respect for what the Imperium has managed to do to defend their space against virtually everyone else in nullsec, to hold on for over a year in this war, taking some fights as well. There again, all the mechanics, dynamics that play into such large-scale fights, I don't know anything of that stuff, so that's all for the two sides to talk about and to try to come out on top. I would say that that's all part of the war mechanic when it comes to war at such a scale. scale. But yeah, I'm very impressed with what the Imperium has done and the level of tenacity, but also organization and their deep wallets from all the efforts that they have put into EVE Online before this war started, in preparation, creating that fortress that you know, turned out to be up to now at least unassailable, is very, very impressive in my book. So yeah, I would say congratulations there, Imperium. Absolutely amazing job, and I'm really happy to see that conflict in Nullsec is in all likeliness going to continue. Next up, I also want to quickly mention that, yeah, to me this does feel like a bit of a breath of fresh air that might take hold in Nullsec, including in all likeliness a rebuilding phase as well, as all the players will decide on, all right, where are we going to live, try to build up, maybe try to attack each other as well, while a lot of this is still going, and that could become like an economic opportunity in the market as well. And honestly, we're starting to see, in my opinion, the first signs that some players and some groups are preparing for that pickup in activity in general. As for instance, here in the minerals, we can very clearly see that Isogen is starting to pick up here as well in the last couple of days. A little bit of speculative volumes as well, but even that to me is part of the equation. If you're expecting more stuff to happen later down the line, then it's probably a good time to try and grab your cheap minerals. And so Isogen very quickly going up towards 70 ISK on the sellers is definitely not bad. We saw that in the last EVE talk as well, a surprise jump from Megasite here up to 700 as well, right? In this massive downturn after the April industry changes, right? This looks so depressing, this looks so bad here on the Mixelon chart, but look at the tail end. The good news is 5-day moving average for almost 2 weeks straight now above the 20-day moving average, showing that slight upwards pressure. Look at the volumes as well, a little bit of increased interest. Even Morphi does another bounce of 100k to 1-year high point, and this one to me is very, very important. Noxium doing a bounce of 1000 ISK, really starting to take off as well here, selling again at 1200 ISK, does show more interest, even higher volumes here as well, and that need for low SIC miners to go out there and grab Noxium. If for instance the Imperium's industrial machine and the other sides as well goes back into rebuilding, getting their structures back up and running, getting all those moons back up and running, building up their forces to I think what I've heard so far is that the Imperium is really now taking aim at Test Alliance and wants to, return the favor and start a campaign to go after them. So all of that, higher activity, higher interest, and that does create ripples throughout the entire sandbox with lots of opportunities for players to do their part and to be part of this adventure. Pyrite still hesitating a little bit. Tritanium, even Tritanium last couple of days, you can see trying to get up there, and then Zydrine, same thing, higher volumes and an increase as well. So for me, very, very interesting time. It's in the middle of the summer. I've been mentioning that in a couple of videos as well. At the moment I'm also like at a lower gear for EVE Online, but I am actively playing every day, reading up about the game, trying to anticipate what's coming, and trying to find new goals under these new circumstances. And I think it's a great time to do that, because everything that's happening in Nullsec I think will potentially open up like the multiverse, you could say, of what's happening there in the Marvel universe. This feels like, all right, we could go anywhere from here once again. Very, very exciting times. Plex also at very high prices, not exactly what you would expect in a massive downturn. So there's some more speculation on all of this happening as well. And yeah, super happy to see that. I must also mention that one thing that we've seen quite often, and we should see that here as well, if we don't have a filter in here, trade has been taken over completely by Jita 4.4 again as well, after the tax changes, making the TTT, Tranquility Trading Tower, I think it's called, not a good option anymore for actively trading. And lots of players are speculating that that's been a big part as to why all of a sudden the war is coming to an end, because there was a lot of ISK flowing into Nullsec pockets. Very interesting aspect check just for me as well, just to see how big that was, how big an impact such a change can be, what kind of lessons will CCP learn from that. You know, lots of voices I hear are about not allowing keep stars in HiSec anymore, because there's really no real counter against those capabilities without capital ships and things like that. And I think that could down the line also lead us to some upcoming changes when it comes to trade in HiSec, what's possible, what's ownable by players. But for now, everything is back in GTA 4.4 as well, or almost anything, which is a very, very big change yet again in the game that has huge consequences. And I am absolutely amazed at all those ripples in the sandbox. So kind of wanted to make that video a little bit. I'm actually, you know, excited, while of course sometimes I'm seeing, like, you know, snippets being taken out of talk shows and things like that, where people are acting very childishly and things like that. But yeah, that's all part of the game. It shows how emotionally invested players are that enjoy EVE Online, and this to me is super fascinating, and it makes me very happy that I'm, even as a Care Bear in EVE Online, that I'm part of this universe. If I wanted to, if any of us wanted to, we could choose a side, join the Imperium, join the other side, join the alliance of our choice, get out there in nullsec and take part in these really, really big wars. That's not how I want to play EVE Online, but that I have that option in this sandbox. And just knowing that, and then reading about everything that's happening, seeing everything that's happening, is super, super cool to me. Yeah, this one world sandbox of EVE Online. For me here, this shows that the game is definitely still alive, and I think that we will see some very cool stuff after the summer break for a lot of players. I'm pretty positive. I'm right on that. I could be completely wrong as well, but I'm starting to feel that anticipation in the market already, and the fact that the Imperium survives and is now going to rebuild and hold some grudges, to me is very, very exciting for the future of the game and potential cool stories that will come out of all of that. So yeah, there you go. That's what I wanted to share with you guys for this quick video. I'll quickly mention as well, super busy at work. That's why the videos are a little bit lower effort, but I'm hoping that after the summer things will settle down a little bit and I'll be able to come back in full force as well. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and as always, I'll see you next time.